Welcome to our lesson on writing an autobiography. We are going to learn what an autobiography is and how to write one ourselves. So first we need to understand what it is. There are two different types of writing up here. One is a biography and then an autobiography. A biography is the history of a person's life written by someone else. So I have some examples of a biography. This book is Who Was Frederick Douglass? This is written about Frederick Douglass and his whole life by somebody else named April Jones Prince. So not written by himself. This book is Who Was Steve Irwin? This is also written all about his life, and it was written by Dinah Anastasia. So not written by Steve Irwin himself. Also have this book. It is From Silence to Fame, and it's about James Earl Jones, but it was written by Donald Campbell. So not written by himself. And an autobiography is a history of a person's life written by themselves. So just like those books, except they would be written by the same person who it's about. So if you remember, I have Who Was Frederick Douglass as a biography, and then we have Frederick Douglass. This is his own autobiography. He wrote about his life by himself. So it's all about his life written by himself. It even says it right there. So we know that is an autobiography. We also have another one. This is Up From Slavery. An autobiography. It says it right there. It's about Booker T. Washington. It's about him, and it was written by him. So we are going to practice writing an autobiography about ourselves. So we're going to discuss a few things that we think would be important to put in our autobiography. If we are telling a history of ourselves, what should we put in it? So I'm gonna ask the group to come up with a few ideas about what they think would be important things to put in an autobiography. And I know that a lot of you are familiar with these books, this series of books, and have read them yourselves. So you might want to think back to what's included in those books. A lot of you guys always are interested. In the back of the book, there's a timeline. So you might think, where does it start? For this one about Frederick Douglass, it starts with his birth. So yeah, we're gonna do our birth. We're gonna do when it happened, what day and year, where did it happen, what city and state, and maybe any other important information that you want to add. Next, we would do our infant or baby years. So you could add who lived with you, where did you live, what city and state, because that might be different from where you were born. So you might want to explain that. Next, you would put your toddler or childhood years. Just put that up there. But we would discuss it and write it as a group. So next you might do your toddler childhood years. You could put who lived with you in your house, where did you live, because that might be different from the last ones up there. Maybe you moved. And you could do how did you spend most of your time? Did you go to daycare? Did you go to maybe an aunt or uncle's house or grandma and grandpa's house? How did you spend most of your time? And then next you could do any major accomplishments. So maybe like, what's the best thing that ever happened to you? Or one of the most memorable things, something you're really proud of, any major accomplishments. And then last, you could add future goals. So what are some things that you are hoping for in the future that you want to work towards accomplishing or you want to try and achieve? So we are going to use this outline to create our own autobiographies. And creating the autobiography would be your follow-up work.